Network. Good morning, teachers from 48 states. My name is Kathleen Hall Jamieson. I direct the Annenberg Public Policy Center, but I'm here on behalf of the Civics Renewal Network. We're one of the partner groups for this 26 organization network. This is a network that's going to try to increase the likelihood that teachers and parents and citizens across the country know more about their Constitution and about the various aspects of the way in which our way of life is produced and protected by our founding documents. We've got a really big reason for being here to address the situation. We've just released a national poll that shows that little more than a third of the adults in the U.S. can name 3 branches of government. 1/3 can't name a single one. And in past surveys, when we've asked those who can't name them what they actually think they are, they come up with names such as the Democratic and Republican National Committee. We have just over a quarter who know that it takes a 2/3 vote of the House and Senate to override a veto. 1 in 5 incorrectly think that a 5-4 Supreme Court decision goes back to Congress, and then Congress decides what we're supposed to do. Although there's widespread dissatisfaction with Congress and the presidency and growing concerns about the court, trust in court is starting to decline, which is very, very worrisome. When we ask which party has the most members in the House, 38% say they know the Republicans are in the majority, but 17% think it's the Democrats, and 44% don't know. When we ask which party controls the Senate, 38% say Democrats, 20% say Republicans, 42% don't know. So they're unhappy with Congress, but they don't know who's in charge of which house. And because they don't know that we've got divided government, it's reasonable to surmise that they don't understand that the Constitution was actually set up to ensure that when we have divided government, things slow down somewhat. And if they don't understand how a veto works, they don't understand checks and balances. And if they think that the court is accountable to Congress, they don't understand an impartial judiciary. And so the foundations of our system of government, which has preserved our way of life for so long and so well, is not really understood well enough to ensure that we're going to defend it when we need to defend it, because when people show that they don't know the answers to these basic presuppositional questions, and they're asked such questions as, if the Supreme Court issues a series of rulings I don't like, maybe we should get rid of the Supreme Court, they are more likely to agree. Now imagine what it means to say we would take down one of our branches of government. So the work that we are engaged in today is fundamental to preservation of a system that has served us well for a long period of time. I'm pleased to introduce the Civics Renewal Network. And if we'll look on the screen, this is a still shot because we're not live yet. We're still suspended in cyberspace. The Civics Renewal Network is going to go live because you're going to make it go live in about 12 minutes after you hear from the partners. But before doing that, let me tell you about the wonderful things that the partners have been doing so far today. First, these fabulous teachers have brought students from all over the United States in order to talk with staff members and members of Congress about their civics projects and about why it is important to have civics education. They're showing our leaders that the youth of today are going to be leaders of tomorrow who will translate our system of government into workable solutions for real people in real people's lives. And if you want a really edifying experience, just ask any of these teachers or any of the students that you'll see throughout today what it is that they have done to make their community better using civics education. They've come to us through our 26 member organizations who've done the good work of working with the schools in order to try to increase not only learning, but translation of learning into practical action. We have up on the screen the schools that are participating right now in a second way. We had 808 as of an hour ago and climbing. I don't know what the number is right this moment, but at 8:45, one of our partner organizations in Philadelphia stood up in front of the National Constitution Center with a very large group of t-shirted students, and they recited the Preamble. That launched the Preamble Challenge, and those 808 plus schools and counting. Hawaii, when you wake up, we need you. We have 49 states on that list. We don't have Hawaii yet. the students around the nation are going to be reciting the preamble. We have T-shirts for them so that they will walk through the day carrying a very important message to everyone else, that they stood up for something that articulates our basic values as a country. So watch that map change across the day, because as we get more schools, this we locked in a few days ago because this is a static visual, we're not really live yet. Let's see if we can get to 50 schools, and let's see if we can get over 1,000. 1,000 is actually our goal. Second thing I want to tell you about what's happening today are naturalization ceremonies. The federal courts, one of our partners, are holding naturalization ceremonies throughout the country. Take a look at the map. These are iconic sites around the nation. And schools have been invited to participate in this process. This means that those students will experience some of the excitement of those who are becoming citizens today. And we hope in the process increase their appreciation of something that otherwise we're more inclined to take for granted. We have 27 naturalization ceremonies at iconic sites from Maine to Alaska. Keep watching that map. We'll be putting up visuals from throughout the day, both from the Preamble Challenge and from the naturalization ceremonies, so that the schools that were not able to participate directly can see how exciting it was to participate. And we hope participate next year as well. We also, and here's my third slide, aired PSAs over the last 3 days in the major media markets. I hope you saw them. This is the Civics Renewal Network telling you about our important work, and I want to show you our PSAs. Produced by Mark McKinnon for us. Mark, thank you. This was a pro bono contribution to teaching civics education in the United States.
I have a dream.
The rights held dear by all Americans have forged this nation. But none of it would have been possible without this. On this, the 225th anniversary of the drafting of the Bill of Rights, learn it, share it, celebrate it. Find out how at civicsrenewalnetwork.org.
And the second PSA?
The prince and princess then formed a more perfect union, established justice, ensured domestic tranquility, and lived happily ever after.
Teaching our children about the Constitution and its Bill of Rights is critical, no matter how we do it.
Defense, Jamie! Provide for the common defense!
Finish your homework and promote the general welfare. Then you can secure the blessings of liberty.
On the 225th anniversary of the drafting of the Bill of Rights, celebrate the Constitution. Learn how at civicsrenewalnetwork.org.
We're at the Newseum, the locus of one of our founding organizations. I'd like to thank everyone at the Newseum who's made us feel so welcome. I know the teachers have just had a chance to do a little bit of touring. The students will shortly. And if for just a moment we could take a look at the beautiful day that the Newseum ordered for us, and we have a view of the Capitol. We hope that constructive things are happening there today. I love the symbolism of us here in an institution that celebrates the First Amendment looking at the Capitol. If we could incarnate the principles that we're trying to teach physically and geographically, you'd have to say we couldn't do much better than this. Thank you so much to the Newseum. Now we're going to officially introduce partners of the Civics Renewal Network. As their slide from the Civics Renewal Network page goes up, they will stand in place and give you a brief synopsis of what they're contributing to this important project. First slide.
McKinney Browning, and I am Director of Public Education Programs at the American Bar Association. Our work with the Civic Renewal Network includes having a website called ABA Constitution, as well as with lots of lesson plans and materials for teachers to access, as well as a copy of our magazine if you go to our website today. So we hope that you will join us in celebrating the Constitution as the ABA celebrates Constitution Day with all of you.
Thank you. Annenberg Learner.
My name is Pete Neal. I'm the General Manager of Annenberg Learner. We're a department of the Annenberg Foundation that produces multimedia resources for teachers and students. All of these are available through learner.org, including a wide range of civics and government resources.
And I'm going to speak for Annenberg Public Policy Center because Ellen Iwamoto is with the students right now, making sure that they get through the naturalization ceremony that's happening at the National Archives. Annenberg Classroom provides no-cost documentaries on major constitutional cases. We release one for every Constitution Day. They've won virtually every major award that can be won for productions that are educational. We also produce speak-outs, which give students a chance to engage the issues of the day, express their concerns in a moderated form. We're trying to increase learning and activate engagement. Next up, Bill of Rights Institute.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Griffiths, and I'm the Vice President of Education at the Bill of Rights Institute. We're so honored to be a part of the events today as we celebrate the Constitution and all it offers to our nation and its citizens. The Bill of Rights Institute envisions a citizenry that has the knowledge, values, dispositions, and skills to exercise the rights and responsibilities necessary to maintain a free society. And we help bring that vision to life through teacher education, resources, and student outreach. Our latest project, a digital history, government, and economics textbook called Documents of Freedom, launched last month. I'm thrilled to say that we already have more than 7,300 educators using these primary source-based lessons in their classrooms. We are proud members of the Civics Renewal Network and of the vital enterprise this group and our partners undertake in engaging educators and promoting the value of civic education. We agree 100% that it is our republic, and not just if we can keep it, but also if we can teach it.
Center for Civic Education.
I'm Chuck Quigley from the Center for Civic Education. I think it was about 1987, a group of students met with the late Chief Justice Warren Burger and asked him, what are the most important words in the Constitution? And he replied, "We the people," which points to the importance of the preamble to the Constitution. We often bypass it quickly, look at Article 1 or go to the Bill of Rights, but the preamble is an eloquent statement of the purposes of this government. And the lesson that we put on the CNRN network is a lesson calling for students to examine the purposes of government as set forth by the framers, to see to what extent we have met those purposes or are meeting those purposes, and to discuss what might be done to further the purposes of government as set forth by the framers, and particularly establishing justice and ensuring the general welfare. I joined the CRN because it is a very significant group of colleagues aimed at the extremely important purpose of putting civic education back in its place in the schools as a fundamental core discipline. And the CRN has done an outstanding job of bringing it to national attention. I'm very pleased to be a member of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Center on Congress, Indiana University.
I am Gary Mills with the Center on Congress, and I wanted to mention two things. First, the most recent project that we've completed, Freedom Summer. We've released it here on the 50th anniversary of the Mississippi Freedom Project, which was the drive to register black voters in Mississippi. It's a game-based activity where players will learn a lot about how the civil rights movement and civil rights legislation impacted each other. And the other thing I want to mention is two of my favorite Winston Churchill quotes. Churchill said that democracy is the worst form of government except for everything else that's been tried. He also said the greatest argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. Our mission is to help create a nation of informed and engaged citizens, so that conversation with the average voter will be a strong argument in favor of democracy.
Thank you. Constitutional Rights Foundation.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Gregorio Medina, and I'm with Constitutional Rights Foundation in Los Angeles. I'd first like to thank the Annenberg Public Policy Center for convening this prominent group of civic educators from around the country that share the same goal that has been at the core of CRF's mission for the past 50 years, which is to educate young Americans to participate responsibly and effectively in our democracy. To that end, we're contributing various resources from an extensive catalog of materials that we have on constitutional issues, landmark Supreme Court cases, and Most recently, our Civic Action Project, which provides young people and teachers with a vehicle for young people to create their own civic experience, addressing an issue that's important to them and coming up with solutions so that they can become influential citizens and be able to influence the decisions of the policymakers in their communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Consors.
Hi, I'm Julie Silverbrook, Executive Director of the Constitutional Sources Project, or ConSource. Our mission is to provide greater access to and understanding of U.S. constitutional history. We do this in part through our digital library of historical constitutional materials, which is a library of many primary source documents relating to the creation, ratification, and amendment of the U.S. Constitution. We've contributed that as well as primary source-centered lesson plans to the Civics Renewal Network. We're a proud partner. We think there's power in numbers, both with our organizations and with all of the teachers who are here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next table. Gilda Lerman. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll pick. We're going to be out of order now and getting your slide up. We'll come back and get you at the end.
Not to worry.
Sorry, I'm Sasha Rolon Pereira from the Gilder Lerman Institute of American History. And our mission is to promote the study and love of American history. We are honored to be part of the Civics Renewal Network, and we believe a strong knowledge of American history is an important part of good citizenry. Through our mission, we offer free resources through a variety of programs and through our website to teachers and students. Sorry. We believe also that students everywhere, regardless of about where they are and what resources they have available to them, should have access to the best scholars and to the best American history curriculum. And so we have a free curriculum on our website. And as part of the Civics Renewal Network, we have some of the best scholars in American history speaking on topics like James Patterson on the Civil Rights Movement and its important legacy. Thank you.
Thank you. James Madison.
Good morning. I'm Claire Griffin, Director of Special Projects for the James Madison Memorial Fellowship Foundation. Our website offers dozens of lessons and resources for teachers about the Constitution, other founding documents, including the Federalist Papers. Every single lesson and resource was created by a James Madison Fellow. 1,400 outstanding educators from every state in the nation, 7 of whom are in this room with us today, who received a fellowship from the federal government to study the Constitution as part of their master's program in history, political science, or education. I encourage all teachers to view our website, use our resources, and also to apply for our fellowship. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Library of Congress.
Good morning. I'm Leanne Potter. I direct educational outreach at the Library of Congress. The library was founded in 1800, and as many of you probably are aware, is the nation's oldest cultural federal institution. The materials in the library's collections are truly astounding and tremendous teaching tools, from primary sources in a wide variety of media to the resources that are made available directly for members of Congress. Some of you are aware of the congress.gov website, where you can follow current legislation, learn about current members of Congress. You can also find on the library's website, loc.gov/teachers, materials specifically for classrooms, materials that encourage primary source analysis and inquiry on the part of our students, hoping that they will become very deliberate consumers of information and good questioners, and also have an appreciation for our nation's history. We do happen to hold the papers of the first 23 presidents, including George Washington.
I'm now going to challenge the people who are in charge of the PowerPoint to see if they can go back 3 and pick up the Edward Kennedy Institute. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Nell Breyer. I'm the Director of Programming and Education at the new Edward M. Kennedy Institute for the United States Senate. It has been an honor to be a part of the CRN this new network. Our own institute will open at the end of March. We are trying to get our resources and curriculum available quickly, and as part of this unusual resource, focusing on the Senate. What does the Senate do? The roles and responsibilities, the accomplishments, the history and purpose. So we are offering and inviting teachers and students around the country to take part in our special resources and focus and contextualize it in this wonderful, unparalleled educational materials that you will have available for you through our partners here with the CRN. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's even go forward again. Thank you, PowerPoint folks. National Endowment for the Humanities.
Hi, happy Constitution Day, everybody. I'm Carol Peters. I'm the director of the Excitement Project at the National Endowment for the Humanities. We'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary next year, and we were the first to actually, a government agency, to actually recognize Constitution Day with the Excitement portal, which is still up and it's still running. We have on Excitement, which has been around for 16 years, over 500 lessons and dozens on American history and American constitutional history. We have on this site here, we've put 30 on right now, from the inception of the Constitution to the development of the Constitution, all the way through its 230 plus year history.
Thank you. Next up, Newseum.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jim Duff. I'm president and CEO here at the Newseum, and I can think of no better use for this wonderful facility that we have here than to host and welcome all of you here today. I hope the teachers who've been around with the students this morning have enjoyed what we present here at the Newseum. It's an interactive, immersive experience. Our mission is to educate the public about the importance and value of the First Amendment. Thomas Jefferson said that the best way to preserve our liberties is to have an informed citizenry. And we embrace that as a challenge and welcome you all here. We not only have this great facility on Pennsylvania Avenue, but we do outreach programs to schools, modules for teachers to download and use in the classrooms. And we are delighted with the Civic Renewal Network and to be a part of it. We think by pooling our efforts of all these fabulous organizations that are working together, we really can make a difference in the country. But we really thank you, the teachers who are here today, and the students. That's the key to the whole thing. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you. Next up, Rock the Vote. We're just going to say that Rock the Vote does amazing things to reach out to young people, including very aggressively trying to increase voter registration and voting activities. As you know, the likelihood that you're going to vote is predicted by whether or not you've voted, and there's nothing more important than using cultural channels as well as traditional educational channels to reach those people who are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, but the young citizens of today. Next up, Share My Lesson.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kelly Booz with Share My Lesson, and Share My Lesson is delighted to join the fight to bring quality civic education resources to teachers and educators across the country. Created by the American Federation of Teachers and Test Global, Share My Lesson boasts a growing community of nearly 600,000 educators nationwide and nearly 30,000 free resources in every content area, coming directly from our teachers who can share, collaborate on these great resources. More than that, we have 30,000 resources on social studies and 10,000 resources coming on the Constitution, specifically from our members. And we are so excited to join the Civic Renewal Network and share some of our favorite resources and bring quality civic education to schools across the country.
Thank you. U.S. courts. U.S. courts are really busy right now because they're engaging in naturalization ceremonies. Indeed, one is happening right now at the National Archives, where the National Archivist is with the students who've been taught by these wonderful teachers. Participating in the naturalization ceremony, they're helping to welcome these new citizens, and I'm proud to speak on their behalf. Probably the only time I'll be able to say I'm speaking on behalf of U.S. courts. What so proudly we hail.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Miller, and I'm representing What So Proudly We Hail, and we're very excited to be part of the Civics Renewal Network and this amazing group of partners. Our approach to civic education is a little bit different. Created by teacher scholars Amy and Leon Cass, we use American literature, so American short stories, speeches, and songs to teach American identity and American citizenship. So check out the CRN website and learn how imaginative fiction can enhance history and civic education. Thanks.
Thank you. And now I'm going to loop back, if we can get back up, to the Constitution Rights Foundation, Chicago.
Be part of this important network because we the people, we believe, is as radical and as timely an idea as it was 227 years ago. Self-government is a great birthright, one we fail often to practice, even when we need to, like correcting things like slavery that was in the original Constitution. And the only way it'll keep going is if we manage to give students, young people, the resources, the chances, and the opportunities to participate in the American experiment of democracy. So we work with teachers, provide programs for students, tons of resources for the classroom to fulfill that goal in partnership with all of you, the teachers who do citizenship every day, and all these wonderful organizations. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're going to ask the 19 of our 26 member organizations who are here to type in Civics Renewal Network into their mobile phones, their handhelds, and whatever it is they have. Everybody else, you're welcome to do it as well. And we're going to ask particular our partners to hold their handhelds up as they click the button. Once I see that you've got your hands up with a mobile phone, we're going to count down. I'm going to ask you to help us. We're going to count down from 10. At 0, we're going to officially launch. So when I see heads, I'm going to know that we've got civicsrenewalnetwork.org typed in. And I'm going to watch Library of Congress as our first indication. Let's see, Leanne, how we're doing. What So Proudly We Hail, you've got it up. It's a long name, lots of potential to mistype it. As you use it more, Google and Bing and all of the other sources are going to push it to the top, and so when you mistype it, they'll correct it. They're not able to do that yet because we're brand new. Is everybody ready? Okay, 10, help me, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. All right. Congratulations, everyone. And the Civics Renewal Network is officially on time. It is now 11 o'clock. Congratulations, everyone. We would like to now proudly introduce our colleagues and our friends from the American Academy of Arts and Sciences who are going to provide us with a very important panel discussion on the role of citizenship. This is the organization, and it's one of the most prestigious scholarly organizations in the world, put out a report a number of years ago called The Heart of the Matter, which, as one of its key arguments, advocated that we take civics education more seriously. Today they're going to tell us about citizenship and why it matters, and I'm going to let them take the floor. We'll have a moment of transition. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations on a successful launch.